Hello there, Kangaroo Bros, and welcome to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening in about 12 minutes. I'm your host Drew, and it's a pleasure to tell you more about this game. Like always, before we jump into the game itself, let's take a look at its history. The development of this game may be more interesting as you think. Link's Awakening began its life as Nintendo employee Katsuaki Morita decided to stay in after hours to play around with the Nintendo Game Boy's development kit to create his very own little Zelda game. More and more of his co-workers joined him, and this little after-work club managed to turn a planned A Link to the Past port into an original game, Link's Awakening. See? I told you this would be interesting. The game saw its release in the year 1993, and I think it's kinda useless to tell you that it sold a crap ton of copies. But that shouldn't be the end of Link's Awakening's publication history. As the Game Boy Color arrived at the scene, Link's Awakening got a color update and was released as Link's Awakening DX in 1998. This is the version I played for this review. And even that's not all. Since 2011, Link's Awakening DX is available for the several Nintendo Virtual Consoles. So now that we know how Link's Awakening came to be, let's take a look at the game itself. And look at that! This game is a proper sequel to A Link to the Past, meaning the hero featured in this game is the same guy as in A Link to the Past. Before you start to type in the comments, yes, I know that Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Season takes place before the events of this game, making it the true sequel to A Link to the Past, but this came out first, and I'm following the publication timeline, just so you know. Alrighty, who's ready for a new adventuresome quest? We start with a little cutscene showing our friend Link, I mean Roo, running into some trouble on the open sea. He weathers a devastating storm, but besides his best efforts, his ship wrecks. Luckily, he is washed ashore at a nearby island. A young girl named Marin saves our hero, and she and her dad Talin tell us that we are on Koholint Island. That's right, this game is the first one, now taking place in Hyrule. The game goes even further. There is no mention of the Triforce 2. That's oddly refreshing. But the introduction isn't over yet. An owl appears, telling us to recover our sword and to travel to some shady woods. Yeah, go ahead, trust that talking owl. Come on, Nintendo, do you really think people are stupid enough to trust a talking animal? Shut up. So we get our sword back and we figure out that the combat works like in all the other Zelda games. Hit the enemy with your sword and you will be fine. And before I forget, there are power-ups in this game. The Guardian Acorn increases your defense for a short amount of time, and the Power Fragment increases your damage for a short amount of time. That's a good addition. The only problem is that the game tells you what each upgrade does every time you pick it up. That's not annoying at all. I know you are giddy to find out what's in the forest, but let's get an idea of our surroundings first. Let's take a little sightseeing tour through the nearby village. There is this tree with a phone in it. Okay, there's a little shop. You can even steal from it. Nice. But if you grab something from here without paying, make sure to never return, otherwise the guy here makes you pay dearly. What else is there? Oh, the village has this little crane game where you can win a Yoshi doll. That's weird. Weird, but useful. This doll is used for a trading sequence in the game. You first have to bring the doll to this family to get a ribbon. While we are here, I just want to add that it's really weird that the dad of the family tells us that he's going to be lost in the mountains later. Just don't go there then? I guess? Now we just have to give the ribbon to this little guy to get a can of meat and trade that one with a talking alligator for some bananas. Yes, there's a talking alligator in this game. Now that we know that things are a bit weird on this island, let's check out the woods the owl told us about. We run into said owl again, and he tells us that we have to find a key to open the first dungeon of the game. Getting that key isn't easy though. We first have to find a magic mushroom and give said mushroom to this raccoon, who's actually Talon. He turned into the critter after eating another magic mushroom. Been there, done that, I feel with him. Now with the tail key in hand, we can check out the first dungeon of the game, the Tail Cave. there isn't much to say about these games' dungeons. You either watched my previous reviews or played the Zelda game yourself, you know what awaits you. We have to find special keys to reach the end boss, there are useful items hidden in the dungeons, and from time to time the game even spices things up with some side-scrolling sections. Wait, is that a Goomba? Why are there Mario characters in this game? First Yoshi, now the Goombas? Look! There are the piranha plants too! And Luigi? What's going on here? I'm getting off track again, aren't I? Sorry. Oh, that's right. There is one new addition to the dungeons in this game, which is still used in the series today. Halfway through a dungeon, you will have to defeat a mini-boss. That's cool. But back to Roo's adventure. We kill the first boss of the game, a bouncy worm, and receive the Moonlight Cello in return. A musical instrument? What am I supposed to do with that? Maybe the Hooter can help us out. Ah, I see. We have to collect the 8 siren instruments to wake the guardian of the island, the Windfish. Only if he wakes up, we will be able to leave the island. Guess we have no other choice but to do so. We can even drop by the Windfish's egg. Roo, what the heck are you doing? I guess some things never change. Our next stop is the island swamp. No, we're not going to fight Shrek there. That would be awesome though. But we have to save a kidnapped Chain Chomp from a band of moblins. In return, Bow Wow helps us to reach the second dungeon, the Bottle Grotto. Now there are Shy Guys too? Did I mistakenly pick up Super Mario World 2? To progress through the dungeon, we first have to find its item, the Power Croissant. I mean Power Bracelet. With this new item, we are ready to face the next boss, a genie. Defeating him grants us the next instrument, a horn. Nothing really interesting happens next, up until the point we trade our bananas for a stick, trade the stick for a honeycomb, and trade the honeycomb with a talking bear to get the pineapple. Now I'm told to wake up this walrus to progress, but I have no idea how to do that. Maybe Marin can help us out. We find her at the beach, and after some chit-chat, we get her. What the heck are you doing, Roo? Hang on, game. What do you mean with maybe that's your big chance? I'm a bad boy?
Nice.
I think I need an adult. Marin at least helps us to wake up the walrus, and we finally make it to Koholitz Mountains, where we find the dad from earlier. He did get lost in the mountains. Again, why even go there then? Well, at least we can trade him our pineapple for a hibiscus. We move on to wreck the next boss, a spooky anglerfish, and get the surf harp. What's our next stop? Right, the animal village. First, we have to give our hibiscus to this goat before she asks us to deliver a letter for her. You may be wondering why I spent so much time talking about this trading sequence. First, I do think it's a really fun part of the game. And second, this is my review, I can do whatever the hell I want, blow me. So we deliver the letter to the goat's pen pal and get a broom in return. This old lady gives us a fishing hook in return for the broom, which can be traded for a mermaid's necklace. Did you know? In the original Japanese version of the game, this isn't a necklace, but the mermaid's bra. Giving her back her necklace, we get one of her scales. But to be serious for a second, what's up with the sexual undertone in this game? Maybe we can escape it in the 5th dungeon, the Catfish Maw. Oh look, more beasts with giant eyes. This definitely is a Nintendo game. Our trek to the 6th dungeon sheds some light on what is going on here. We find a relief explaining that Koholint Island is just a dream. Okay, now these Super Mario World 2 references make a lot more sense. But is it really just a dream? We have to wake the Windfish to find out. Fine by me. So let's finish up the trading sequence by giving our mermaid scale to the statue to receive a magical magnifying glass. We can now talk to this fella here to trade him one of our items for his boomerang. If you got it, I recommend you to trade in your shovel, since you won't be needing it anymore and the boomerang is pretty much the most powerful weapon in the game. All that's left to do now is to kill the remaining bosses. There is this face on the ground, very scary, a giant eagle, I like the side-scrolling perspective, and last but not least, there is this fire elemental. We now got all the instruments, so let's wake up the Windfish. That's not that easy though. we first have to confront the nightmare haunting it. This is a pretty cool concept. We first have to defeat Aghanim, followed by Ganon and Death. No, not the Grim fucking Reaper, thankfully. Defeating the nightmares finally wakes up the Windfish, and he takes us back to reality. Link wakes up in the wreckage of a ship, and everything we saw was just a dream. Or was it? Well, that was The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. It's a solid game with a fun story, and I'm sure the big twist was shocking back when the game was released. That was during a time when the "it was just a dream" twist wasn't used for almost everything. I actually played both, the original and the X version, prior to this review, and I have to say that the DX version just feels better. It even has an extra dungeon, including color puzzles and a color-themed boss fight. Great stuff. This is also a short game, just perfect to play during the weekend or on a road trip. There isn't really much I can complain about in this game, since I already brought up the repeated use of the same text boxes. But to be honest, complaining about that feels a little bit nitpicky. And with Link's Awakening in the bag, let's see what's next on the agenda. Ocarina of Time. Never heard of that one. Until then, thank you so much for watching. This is Roo signing off. Bye bye!